to meet you in person.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It's okay for you if the interview is recorded so that we can later
Translate.
use it on the Instagram page.
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So if it's okay for you, we'll start with a little presentation in Italian, and then I'll ask you some questions. So, allora, iniziamo. Insieme con noi oggi abbiamo Bart Staszewski, attivista e regista polacco. Ha partecipato e ha organizzato una serie di marce nella Polonia dell'Est e ha organizzato la prima marcia Pride nella Polonia dell'Est. È all'interno di una serie di associazioni tipo Love Does Not Exclude e è anche regista. È uscito il suo articolo, il suo film Articolo 18 è stato premiato e lui, lo stesso Bart, ha ricevuto una serie di premiazioni a livello europeo ed è stato messo nel 2021, all'inizio di quest'anno, tra le 100 persone, 100 100 Next del Times. So, Bart, thank you for being here. Let's begin the interview. So, when did you realize that you needed to be engaged in the politics of your country? Was there a certain experience? Was there a certain moment that made you realize that you had to be engaged in the political spectrum of your country?
When I was 20, I was wondering what can I do for my community. I was always complaining that this thing should be done in another way. I was complaining a lot, and then I recognized that there is a great group called Love Does Not Exclude, which I joined, and I joined this common effort to make a change, not to just complain, but to be part of a change. And it changed radically my point of view of the world. I mean, from the point of being just one who is complaining, I became a change, and it's the thing that I recognize as the most important step in my life. And it took me 5 years before I made the most important work of me. It was the documentary about equal rights in Poland called Article 18, and it was the same time when the Law and Justice Party, so the right-wing government, came into power in 2015. So it changed our life dramatically. I mean, since Law and Justice came into power, a lot of things changed. Before, of course, before governments never secured our rights in a proper way. We didn't have the civil unions, we didn't have march equality, and there was never a hate speech law that could protect us from this all hatred. And because of that, they are allowed to do what they do. They are allowed to tell that there is some LGBT ideology to fight. They are allowed to say that there is some rainbow flag that is a threat to the nation, which said the Archbishop for the Catholic Church in Poland. And those all things made me thinking that I need to be changed. I need to use my privilege as a gay living in a capital city, having this capital of media attention of the people who trust me and possibilities which the other people don't have, and to use them against those who tell that we are not equal.
Okay, thank you. So, since Poland has become the worst European Union country for LGBT plus people in Europe, according to ELGA Europe, and you are always on the front line to fight for LGBT community rights, have you ever been scared about your actions and their consequences?
Yes, of course. I mean, the louder your voice is hearable, the bigger echo you are making, the highest consequences of the price of it is available. I mean, the price I pay for my effectiveness is actually the threats I get, the right-wing media who are writing about me with the name, so people recognize me, and the right-wing media too. So usually it means that all apparatus from the country, I mean the public TV, which is the tool in the hands of the right-wing populist, is used against us. whenever they speak about the LGBT rights, and when they want to blame somebody, so they are showing my face. And what it make the people thinking that I am anti-Polish, that I am cheating on people, that I am fake news maker, because the Poland, as the politician says, is a country where everybody is equal. We are not discriminating anybody. And this is the cheap propaganda they are making. And whenever you are telling that the truth is somewhere else and they are lying, so they are pissed off simply in this way, because they don't like when somebody tells something what is true. So, and this is the typical for all of the authoritarian regimes, authoritarian governments. Yes, I pay the consequences of it. I mean, the death threats, the normal threats, where I usually, when I speak on the internet, organized campaigns against me, troll campaigns. The newest one was to show my picture and to name it pedophile. And it was disgusting and horrible. And still, I feel that I don't have proper tools in my hand, because we see the big enemy, which is the government, telling that we are the LGBT ideology to fight, and as activists uh, who don't have such a background, who don't have such a big pockets of money to defend ourselves or to fight back. But still, we are feeling that we need to do this. Somebody need to do these things, and we are doing this. And I will be not, afraid to push forward the equality issues.
Yes. Oh, thank you. And have you ever felt so scared that you wish you would run away, or just like save someone, or have you ever felt really discriminated in some way, like you wish you were in another place? And also, how do you feel about your country being like that with the community? Um,
I
like,
think, yes, it happens from time to time when I see such a horrible things told on the internet about me, or the people I know. It's making a very big pain to me. And many people decide to leave Poland. I was not among them, because I think that I need to be here to fight with it. But the common people who are like, who just want to have a simple life, live with dignity, and they don't want to be a fighters for a whole life. They just want to live in peace. They are moving. They are flying from Poland because they don't feel safe here. And this is the thing is happening right now. I think this is a big exodus where which somebody nobody is measuring correctly, because nobody there is no numbers on it. But we know that people are living because they are scared. They want to live in dignity, and this is happening. And I don't blame them for now for anything. They deserve it, and we deserve our government to listen us. I don't blame Polish people. I don't blame Poland as a country. I blame the government, which is the loud homophobic minority. Because we usually, when we measure the attitudes towards the LGBT community, they are not dramatically homophobic. Of course, they are influencing the people, those who are in power, and using, of course, the public TV. So I don't want to say that situation is the best in the way, and this is just politicians. No, it will be too easy to say like this, but I still see the chance to change the politicians, and that by changing the politicians, the people who are ruling the country, we could achieve a lot, because the people are ready to accept the marriage equality. They are ready to accept the hate speech law. I think that nobody will have anything against it. It just the necessary thing is the brave politicians who will take the step and make it.
okay.
And yet, in spite of all the people that are leaving the country, you in an interview you stated that you had no intention of leaving the country, and you had to stay to continue the fight in your own country. Um, do you think that your example, you will be as an example for other people who will join the community and will join activism?
I think it's happening, because many people told me that they support me with of thoughts, and they do like what I am doing. I myself, I'm prepared for whatever cost it will mean for me myself. Maybe not all of them will be necessary, but I think that we are in a special time where the current government want to create a chilling effect on all of the activists, showing different examples of the power they have and what they can do to us. And this is happening to different activists. And to think that I'm not alone in this battle, because there are other activists also in this struggle and fighting together with me, is making me think that we will win it. We have just 2.5 years to next election, and I strongly believe that the last election was not won by the Peace and Law and Justice Party with a high majority of votes. So, and the same about the presidential election, he won with just a couple of percent. The right wing president. The democratic election is the only thing that we have left, if we can say, if they are so much democratic, when you see that the public TV media is a use one of propaganda tool just before the election, but it's another story. So I believe that we see number of people who are protesting on the street, joining the women's strike, joining the climate movement, and they're usually young people, and they are the change. They are the next to have the right to vote. They are already have this opportunity, or they will be soon they will be adults to be voting. So I strongly believe that they will become the majority who change the government. So I'm quite optimistic a part of the bad things who are happening to Poland.
Thank you. Did you expect that the time included you in the time 100 next list? And how did you feel about it when you figure it out?
I feel that it was quite nice, because it's always nice to be seen by somebody, and it's always something new, something good to have something like this in such a bad times we have. But also, for me, it's also a quite of obligation that I will fight. I will continue my fight, and I am also not alone. I am feeling that there are some people who appreciate my effort, and that Polish government, before they will do some stupid move before against me, because some such things are happening to other activists, they will think twice. I remember Elżbieta Poleczna, who is known for creating a graphic with the rainbow Madonna. It's the rainbow Virgin Mary with the rainbow background, and the police came to her house like 6 a.m. to collect the hard drives, like for the terrorists or anything. This is the thing that who are happening to the activists, just for connecting the things that are important for Poles with the rainbow flag, which should be never ever understood as some kind of defamation. But this is how the Polish government sees it, such a things. So for me, it's a bit of brief. I can think that they will not make such a decision so easily. I will not. I don't need to wake up every morning that okay, now I need to wait until 12, because the police can came to your house between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. So usually when you have this chilling effect in your background, you are actually scared. So those prizes, though awards, you always have both sides. One thing is that this is nice, you like it, and the other thing is that you appreciate it and you feel a bit more secure in this position you are seen from aboard.
Okay. And do you think that this kind of propaganda against the community is affecting younger people in some way? What are the differences between younger people and older ones?
I think that the main difference is that even the adults are not watching too much the public TV, which is the main source of the propaganda, because it's free. You can watch it every time you want. You just need the TV. Young people don't have usually TVs. They are watching VODs. They are watching Netflix. They are watching other platforms, and there's a very different world over there. Even if you hear and you see what the church is saying, because this relationship between the church and Polish Catholic Church and the government is quite strong in Poland, and they have quite common things in this homophobia what they are doing and telling. So it's the target of them is the most devoted voters of the Law and Justice Party. So I don't want to undermeasure the people who are influenced by this. But on the other hand, I see the young people who are not influenced by this because it's too primitive propaganda. And, you know, like simply saying that the LGBT people are enemy of the families and they will destroy it or whatever, like the language like this, you will not achieve anything by telling this to the young people because they will not believe it. They see the young LGBT couple between them, they don't demonize them, they see that they are normal. So I feel that this propaganda is mainly targeting the adults who are right-wing, not the voters who are in the middle or the liberal at all.
Thank you. Last question.
Thank you.
What about the future? What do you see for Poland? What do you think that Poland, where do you think that Poland will be in, let's say, 10 years' time? Do you think that the new generation, as they gain power, they will stop this campaign of hate towards against the community? And also, do you think that as time goes by, the right wing may get more violent?
I think this what we see now in Poland is last year we had such a Polish Stonewall where we get to riots on street, mass people was arrested between the activists, LGBT people, and we are in the time where every country has something like this, where we are showing our visibility, pride marches, we are using the civil disobedience to fight for our rights, and this is happening currently in Poland, and we will achieve it sooner or later. I believe that the next government will be liberal one, and they will be in the mass to create anything from the civil unions, march equality to the hate speech law. I think it's quite much easier to create a hate speech law so it will be a change of the crime code in Poland, and they don't need any kind of constitution change. So I believe that in like 2.5 years we're gonna change the government. So it will be even not the 10 years, but maybe 5 or 6 where we have the first big step to the march equality. And maybe the next liberal government, so in the 8 years, we will have a proposal for the march equality. If we will need to constitution, so they need to be in the strong majority in the government because it's necessary to change the Polish constitution. So I think this is the lead are the young women are actually taking the lead in this movement. We see more and more women who are aware, who want to take a lead, who want to make a change, and who can be the future of this protest and the future face in the Polish politics. Myself, I'm supporting my friends who are in the Lublin, which I grew up, which is the east part of Poland, where which is quite conservative one, and I see that they are actually taking the lead, making a change. So I see that I'm just hoping that the young people from the position of protesting, making a strike, they will change it to the voting card when there will be this necessary time for it. If they will do this, so I am quite optimistic for the future.
Thank you. Bart, thank you for this interview, and we hope that we will have another one maybe in the future when the government changes and the reforms can be made. So now the interview is over, and we will